Hello, friends, and welcome to another edition of the TV is Our Real Mom podcast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Catie.
And here we are to finally talk about Season 40 of Survivor, Winners at War, the all-winners season. Catie, are you stoked for it?
I'm stoked. I'm ready. I'm finding the preseason long, man. I mean, I was way salivating for interviews and stuff, and then we got them, and it's kind of like, okay, can we go now? But at the same time, I don't want to go because I don't want anyone to go home. But then they're not going home, so I guess it's fine.
Right.
Sorry, that was a lot.
No, it's good. That's what we're here to do, to share our
I have a lot
thoughts.
of feelings.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think we're actually here. I mean, maybe, what was it, less than 2 years ago even, that we didn't even know this was going to actually happen. It was only just kind of a pipe dream and a hope and a whisper.
Yeah.
And here it is.
Because Jeff Probst said it wouldn't happen, and because Jeff Probst likes to crap on our dreams, and so I believed him.
Yeah, and I listened to an interview with Jeff, and apparently, like, one of the heads of CBS is the one that, like, gave him the push for it. He asked them, he's like, or he was talking to them about it, and he's like, I don't think we can get enough winners, like good winners, to play. And the head of CBS, or one of the heads, was like, well, you never know if you don't ask. So Jeff was like, oh, good point. So he just made the calls, and I guess everyone they asked said yes. So they kind of had their pick, who they wanted to put in. That doesn't necessarily mean some people might have said yes, and then they couldn't for some reason.
Come out.
Yeah, whether it's medical or something else, you know.
If you could pick one winner who's not there to be there, who would you pick?
Probably Todd.
Yeah, I was gonna say Todd too.
Yeah, or Richard.
There was rumors he was gonna be on there, but
yeah, I'd like to have Richard Hatch there too. I mean, that just feels like he should be there, but
you know who I think should be there, just to throw a wrench in everything?
Who's that?
Fabio.
Oh, yeah, Fabio would be a lot of fun. It's too bad he's not there.
Yeah,
definitely.
He's not there.
Yeah,
would have really thrown some interesting weirdness into the mix.
For sure. Yeah, there's a couple that would have been really interesting.
Todd was the biggest heartbreaker for me.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
And Earl, maybe Earl. I really liked Earl.
Earl would be cool. But anyways, today...
Hey, just a quick question. Can you see me? Because I'm not in the video up on top anymore.
Yep, you're there.
Okay.
You're in
just
here.
Can't see myself, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll have to get through it without looking at myself.
Oh, that's rough.
It's tough.
So, yeah, let's get into it. We're here today to talk about... we're going to talk about
Red Tribe.
We're going to talk about all the players that are playing this season and take them one at a time and break it into 2 episodes here. First episode, talking about the Dekal Tribe, the Red Tribe. Just going to share our thoughts, feelings, how they might do, possible alliances, and whatever else might come up along the way. So, Catie, are you ready to begin?
I'm ready. Pretty much.
Okay. All right, let's start with... Okay, I've got the 5 women at the top, 5 men at the bottom, so we're just going to start top left and alternate girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy. Okay, so first on the list...
Just like 5th grade.
Just like 5th grade. First on the list is Amber Mariano.
That's right. Mrs. Boston Rob. And we were talking about earlier, the Boston Rob, I think, is the only problem. I mean... the only thing that's going to make her stand out. Otherwise, she'd float real easy, I think, through most of the game. But that connection to Rob, that's not good.
Right. In an all-winner season, you have a few people here who are considered under-the-radar winners. And I think she takes the cake for the most under-the-radar person if you take Boston Rob out of the equation. Because she is such a, soft-spoken kind of winner, and just not big and flashy in any
She's nice.
way. Yeah,
she's kind of boring.
Yeah, a little bit. She's fine.
She's fine. That's right.
Yeah, she's fine.
I didn't get a lot of strategy coming from her interview. Granted, that was like 5 or 6 minutes long. It'll be interesting to see how she navigates the ridiculous amount of twists and turns in these newfangled seasons of Survivor. But it kind of would behoove her or benefit her, I think, if Rob went home early. But I'm not sure how that's all going to pan out.
Yeah, I agree. I think if Rob goes home before her game is pretty much wide open at that point, because I think people are not going to be worried about her as much. I think they're more worried about the two as a pair together. So.
Yeah, but she's going to have to do something to sit at the end, even if she makes it to the end. If she makes it to the end, she's going to have to do something to be worthy of the winner of the all-winner season. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, totally. Yeah, because I've said in the past that, or in the recent past, that there will be what I foresee there being like a couple GOAT type people at the end and one really kind of strong, obvious winner. I don't know.
I mean, that's how most seasons go, right?
Yeah, that's how most seasons go. And I think, it's not going to be 3 under the radar GOAT people. There will be one major power player still there with somebody with the Ambers, Michelles, and Danny Boatwrights of the world, some of the more under the radar people. There's probably men in that category. I feel bad for naming all women there. But
well, that's who everybody's been naming as the under the radar sleeper type threats. That's who everyone's been talking about.
I would maybe put somebody like Nick in that category as well, He
didn't have a very under the radar win, but he was sneaky for a while.
I think he could easily be under the radar in this game, though. So yeah, are we already talking about Nick, or is
he next?
Is there anything more to say about Amber?
I don't know what to say about Amber. I mean, all she talked about in her video was being a mom of 4 and being married to Rob, and that's super cool that she gets a chance to play again. I just hope we see a little more personality out of her out there.
Which we might. You never know.
But with all the whatever, I'm not going to complain about Edge of Extinction.
Yeah, true.
Yet.
Not enough screen time to give to her, since they'll all be out there on the edge of extinction.
Yeah, it might be tough.
Mm-hmm. I think she could either go first because of Boston Rob, or go all the way and possibly be a no vote finalist.
Seems to be the trend.
She has the bookends. So yeah, if that's what everyone else is saying, I completely agree with it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know I haven't heard anyone really talking about Amber, but it's hard to talk about Amber without also talking about Rob.
Yeah, there's just not much to go on.
Yeah.
What else can we say?
Rob should have played that jury better.
All right, so let's just move on to Nick Wilson.
Yeah. Nick Wilson.
What are your thoughts on Nick Wilson?
I'm finding myself very confused about Nick Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
But I find myself feeling very confused the same way I did in his first season, where he came off so bad early on that I was like, this guy will never win. He's rubbing people the wrong way. They can see completely through him. And I feel like that's how I feel again. Like, oh, they're going to see right through this guy. But he won. So, you can't underestimate the charm and the intelligence. And I didn't really like in his video how he was taking credit for, some of Davey's moves. And I'm sure they planned it out together, but I didn't like that. But there's a lot in the interviews we can talk about that I didn't necessarily care for. There's a lot I did like, but that was one of the things I didn't like about Nick in his interview.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm confused about Nick. What do you think?
I liked Nick in his interview. Just kind of reminded me that he's a pretty cool person, actually. Definitely likable. He's in a position that would really rattle most people's nerves, to be the latest winner, the newest winner out there, and you're going up head to head against the Survivor legends from like 20 years ago. Which I don't even know how old he is, but he was definitely really little when he was watching some of these guys do their thing.
Yes, a child, I would say.
Not to mention he's like a RHAP patron, so he's like an uber Survivor nerd. People talk about Adam being the Survivor nerd, but Nick, he's pretty up there too. So he's gonna he would you would expect he would be a little rattled out there, and he did kind of seem nervous in his interview, but at the same time he seemed like he was handling it just fine, you know. He's just a cool guy. I have a good feeling about him in the game. It just depends on this tribe. I'm looking at his tribe here, and how are they going to feel about like the newest winner? Are they going to decide to target him early, or are they going to see him as an asset they can use? In the interviews, a lot of people talked about seeing him as a piece, a pawn, an asset. A lot of people said, "Hey, I'm going to go find the guys I'm going to go find the new guys. They're going to be looking for someone like me to take him under my wing." So I feel pretty good about Nick overall. He'll be underestimated, and could potentially pull out the lawyer skills at the end. So I do think he has winner upside. He's very similar to Amber in the sense that he's probably either going to go early or win, you know. So I don't.
You think Amber can win?
No, that's the difference. I could see Nick winning. Yeah.
That would be interesting.
He's got upside to me. I don't know. But I also could very easily see him being the first one voted out, like as like an easy target kind of thing.
It's possible. Yeah, I'm still confused on how to feel about him. He did seem nervous in his interview, but it was kind of endearing because you knew he was excited to be out there. I'd feel bad for him if he was the first one out, but someone's got to be.
Yeah.
And I think there is a chance that it's him. There's rumors, you know, the way it was edited in the season premiere of David versus Goliath, that he would have been the first one out there. So maybe the universe, it's like Final Destination. Like he was spared being the first one out by that boat accident, but now it's gonna get him in this one.
That's a really good analogy. The universe needs to correct itself, so
watch out, Nick Wilson.
So watch out, Nick Wilson.
Yeah.
You got.
I've just got mixed feelings about how he's gonna do. I just don't really know.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's gonna be any bold predictions in our statements. I'm pretty sure we're both gonna hedge our bets quite a bit today, so that's too bad.
It's just because we don't want to allow ourselves to think about these people leaving.
That's part of it. And
with the exception of like 2 people, like I'm pretty stoked for all these people.
Exactly. That's what makes it so tough to place any bet. Is you can look at almost all these people and say, "Oh, I feel really good about that person." And they're also surrounded by people that are threats. So if everybody's a threat, everybody has a chance. So this is the toughest it's ever been to make predictions ever.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, it just.
So I think a lot of our comments are going to be like, well, could go either way, I guess.
I mean, I don't want to sit and make a prediction. I'm just listening to my heart and saying what I think about these people.
Okay. Yeah, we'll probably have to lean into that as the conversation more so.
There's enough analysis out there. Y'all can listen to those podcasts.
Yeah.
That's not what we're here for.
Okay. So do you want to move on from Nick?
Yeah, we can move on.
Okay.
Good luck, Nick. Good luck, Amber.
Good luck. Next we have the queen, the princess. I mean, you can't call
Khaleesi.
The Khaleesi. There you go. Kim.
Although that ended poorly for the Khaleesi.
Yeah, true. But maybe this will too. You never know. Kim Spradlin. Kim Spradlin.
Or as Tony likes to say, Kim Spradling. I just listened to that interview and he pronounced everybody's name wrong. It was so funny. Anyway.
It's almost like he does it on purpose or something.
Yeah, because everybody's name, like even Sandra, he says Sandra. You know how to say Sandra. Everybody knows how to say Sandra.
Isn't he like Latin or Latino, Tony?
Nachos? He's New Jersey. I don't know.
Oh, because
Could be
like
Italian.
yeah, because the Sandra's name in like Espanol would be pronounced Sandra, wouldn't it?
True, but
Yeah,
if he's watched, it makes me think maybe he doesn't watch, and he just looks at their names.
he probably doesn't watch.
I think there's a good chance you're right on that. Anyway, back to the Khaleesi.
Yeah, so Kim Spradlin's here. A lot of people say she played the best game of all time. Of all time.
Yeah, I mean, she played a pretty impressive game, and it was obvious from the jump that she was going to win. I mean, to most people.
Yeah,
but
I won a 65-inch flat screen TV thanks to her.
Thanks to Kim Spradling.
Thanks to CBS. CBS's Fantasy Survivor, and my second season I ever watched. I was like, Kim Spradlin's the winner. She's my MVP, and I won a TV. So there you go.
And then they stopped doing that, right?
Yeah, they stopped having an official one after that year. And then that's when we kind of moved, as a family, we moved over to doing it on some other random website. But
yeah.
Anyways, point being, yeah, I have clear evidence. The whole reason I am a big Survivor fan now is because I picked Kim to win. Because then I got my big TV. They sent me a DVD. I watched Pearl Islands, and I was hooked in. So yeah. Anyways, Kim, but I contend that she played the best game because of the field.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
That's a fair point. She was playing with people like Troyzan.
What was the sushi chef guy's name again? I always think
Jonah. Colton.
Wasn't there like a guy named Jay?
Jay
Byers,
like
a really high voice.
A very handsome guy whose voice did not match his body.
Yeah.
And then all her tribe of girls. You had Kat, who didn't know what the B in BLT stood for. I will never forget that. Chelsea, who I always thought Chelsea was fine. Like, I don't know why Chelsea is considered just a lapdog, but maybe she was. I haven't rewatched that season. Sabrina. And like Christina and Alicia, yeah, she had some followers with her.
Monica.
But like, did they come off dumb because of the effect she had on them, or were they just dumb and bad at the game?
Seemed like a pretty dumb cast overall.
Yeah. It's fair. It's the same thing with Rob gets such credit for the Redemption Island season and that being one of the most dominant games, which it was. But look who he was playing with, man.
Yeah, it's true.
And that was his fourth time. It took him four times.
Yeah. So
granted, I will argue he should have won All Stars, but he didn't manage the jury, so that's fine. Go on.
Well, Kim is obviously a good player. She has all the tools she needs. She's a great social player, great athletically, very smart, strategic. But most important of all, people are drawn to her. She puts them at ease. Rob Cesternino always talks about that as being, he considers that like the most important quality to have out there, is just to put people at ease, because they want that so badly. They just want to keep someone around who, when they start to freak out because they're starving and they're paranoid, somebody who just puts them at ease. And I think Kim has that ability, kind of like Jeremy does. So she is a major threat. She's a majorly good player. You can't deny that she had really easy competition. So it's tough to say. That taints her epic win a little bit, in my opinion. But
okay.
Yeah.
I'm the more you talk about that part, like the social aspect of it, like her putting people at ease and stuff, like I'm getting more excited to see, like, it's easy to comfort someone weaker than you, but how is it all going to work when they're all kind of on the same level? Like, Kim's going to be able to see, like, Wendell for example, like comforting her, comforting someone else, they're going to see through that. Not that it doesn't come from a genuine place, but I'm just wondering how like cutthroat and like meta and weird is it going to get with these really self-aware, charming winners. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they could all have that ability to put each other at ease, and they're all probably already at ease because they're like,
yeah,
there's a
winners.
lot of confidence in the room. So yeah, so the dynamics are going to be interesting. I mean, will you have anybody freaking out there? I mean, everybody's probably going to be calm and cool as a cucumber because I mean, honestly, like it's such a difficult. There's so much competition. Most of them are probably thinking to themselves like, yeah, I don't got much of a shot at this thing. Like there's a lot of luck involved here. So I think a lot of them will be playing free and easy and loose. And like when they get voted out, they'll be like, it was a long shot.
Yeah. It's a long shot for all of them. Yeah. But I wonder if you'll see some like new strategies. Like if everyone's calm, cool, and collected, that's everyone's kind of the same. If you like maybe you'll see someone like pretend to have a meltdown and then they'll be seen as weak and then people will want to keep them around for that reason. I don't know. I think you just might see new levels of
deception
thought and deception.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's fun stuff to watch, honestly.
It is. Yeah. And I'm hoping that's what we get to focus on and not extraneous fire token nonsense because the strategy in the game is there whether you add all that crap into it or not.
Yeah.
But I'm worried that Kim doesn't see herself as much of a threat as she is. But maybe that's good. Maybe she'll play level-headed and not worried. But, people hold her in pretty high regard.
Sure. Agreed.
Except David.
Yeah, well, she's all right, I guess.
She's all right.
So you really think people will target her like early?
I'm looking at this tribe. Yeah, I don't know. She might be all right. I think she might be okay.
They put her in a spot, where she can easily ingratiate herself into some type of alliance where she's on the right side of the numbers. So I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem for her.
She's going to be like the perfect antidote to like a Tony and a freaking Sandra and we'll get to others.
Yes. Anything else you want to say about Kim right off the top?
I guess now that we've talked about it, I'm not super worried about her. I could be wrong, but I think she'll get into a group and her natural personality will just, I feel like I wonder if there's going to be this bond between all the people who have like gone on to have families since Survivor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Tyson and Yule and everybody. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like Sophie, Nick, and
Wendell, the only childless people on this tribe.
Kind of left out there. So that could... Yeah, I think you could certainly see a lot of real-world dynamics come into play, and that's concerning. It's too bad that probably will play such a big role in the game, but theres just no way around it. It's worth it to get an all-winners season just because it's so epic, so... Whatever.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm.
You want to move on?
Yeah, we can move on.
Okay, moving on to Tony Vlachos.
Speaking of Tony.
Big T. The tone dog.
Is he that big?
He's very short.
Look that big to me.
He's short and squat. And he says he's lost.
He called himself a scrawny old man.
Yeah, he's lost some weight, so he's scrawny old man now, I guess.
Yeah, that's what he called himself, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, what'd you think? What do you think of Tony coming in?
I still love Tony. I love the entertainment value he brings. He kind of fits a little bit into that category that you complain about, actually, with the... he's a Debbie type. He gets a lot of accolades for being just a whack job on screen.
Yeah.
But what's cool is he also is very strategic. So like Nora was never really being strategic in a super smart way,
No.
Tony is cunning and daring and bold on top of being one of those kind of eccentric, crazy, pop out of your TV characters. So I love Tony more in retrospect. I liked Tony during the season, but I think everybody's love grew for him in retrospect,
Afterwards.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I feel the same way. I'm really excited to have him back, but he's just like, I don't know why, but he's still going to have just such a huge target on his back. I don't know what he can possibly do out there. It's sad.
Well, the only thing that might, the only thing that might save him is, you got people out there who want shields around them, and Tony's a big, flashing shield in front of you, and I feel like that's the only thing that might save him. And I also like how he's playing down. He's not planning any spy shacks or whatever the hell he makes out there. He's just waiting until the game starts to kind of feel it out. And I think that's a better way to go about it than his pre-game changer strategy, which did not work out for him. So, I don't know. I think he's got a better shot than maybe I think people are giving him credit for.
Right. Yeah. I think a lot of people commented on that about his interview and how he said, in Game Changers, it was a mistake to ever go out there with the notion that I could plan things ahead of time and do all this crazy shit, because all it did was freak people out, and I never even had a chance in the first place.
Yeah.
I'm really feeling positive about that as well, that he's planning to play things by ear. Boston Rob says that the best Survivor skill is adaptability, and I agree with that. And that's how you should play Survivor. You should always play by adapting. It's okay to plan, but don't plan too much, because it's probably not worth your energy, not worth your time. Play for the moment, play on your toes, and adapt to the situation. And that's the way Tony says he's going to come into this game. And I like that as a strategy for him. It's more promising than what he's done in the past. The recent past. The last time out.
The past is the past, man.
Yeah. So, Tony, the question is, will he stick to that, or will he hit the beach and start looking for idols and just because maybe that's how he'll read the situation, and he'll be like, this is me adapting. I feel like I'm the target. I'm going to go look for idols, and maybe that'll be a good thing. Maybe that'll be the right move. But
Tony was one of 3 winners in the last season. He came back to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he felt pressure to protect himself. He's surrounded by equal threats this time.
Yeah.
I think, I predict he might be there for a while. Either way, we get him on edge of extinction. One of the benefits of having that around.
Right. But with all these males on his tribe, there's no one else that matches his intensity and his play style. It's like you got all these
nobody matches his intensity and play style.
Yeah, but look at these guys: Wendell, Yule, Nick Wilson, and even you could argue Tyson. Such a people kind of makes everybody laugh, puts people at ease kind of guy. So Tony is the standout. I wouldn't go as far as to call him a villain, but he's the standout. Crazy guy, wild card guy.
I bet he makes people laugh. I bet he's at least entertaining around camp.
Yeah, I don't know. It's yet to be seen. I just don't like where he sits, at least in the males. At least you have Sandra on the other side, who's also kind of known to be a bit of a rascal. So, I don't know.
A bit of a rascal. Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him, but I feel like I'm saying that about half the people on this tribe, so.
Right.
Some of them are going to make it.
Yeah, I don't see a Tony win, but man, that would be a lot of fun. So I hope I'm
That would be great fun.
I hope I'm totally wrong about that.
I didn't see a Tony win in Cagayan. I said Tony can't win.
I remember that conversation. I told you he's gonna win.
And I said he can't win.
Yeah.
But to be fair, usually a player like that can't. But he did. He proved
it was
wrong.
a little unexpected. I was a little surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Any other thoughts on Tony before we move on?
No, I wish him luck.
Okay.
In the past, because this already happened.
Yes. Okay. Moving on to Sandra Diaz Twine, the queen.
Will she stay queen
Will
again?
she stay queen?
If she goes 2-2, is she still the queen? Because someone else will be a 2-time winner.
It's fine. I mean, it's just her nickname now.
It's true. Yeah.
Because like me personally, I've never loved her as a winner. I mean, Pearl Island's fine. You know, it's if it's her or Lil. I mean, obviously Sandra should win that. Mm-hmm. You know, just not a ton of agency in her game, but there was enough for her to definitely deserve to win that season. And then in Heroes Villains, it's like, I don't know. I still think Russell. I'm one of those people. Thought Russell Parvati played a little bit stronger game, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, but when you don't manage the jury, how strong was that game? Sandra did the best job of playing up everyone's annoyance with Russell and using it to her advantage.
True. Yep, that's fine.
That's a valid way of winning the game too.
And then in Game Changers, she went farther than you thought she would.
Exactly.
You have someone in the game who you know has won twice, and you still wait to vote her out. You know?
Yeah, she almost made it to the merge.
Yeah. So
that was risky.
She's definitely a big threat. I personally am not here for a 3-time winner. I mean, that to me is just like, I don't like it.
You don't like it.
I don't
what
like
if she
it.
plays a lights out, balls out game?
I guess I have to respect that, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just weird.
Do not give it to her if that's her path to the end.
It would just be weird. That's all I'm saying.
I hate to tell you this, but I think Survivor's going down a weird path, so we may just have to embrace the weirdness.
True. Welcome to reality, I guess. Reality
Welcome
check.
To the jungle.
What is there to say about Sandra? What can she do this time around? Is she actually at risk, or is she easily going to float far into the game?
I don't know.
Yeah, she is a tough one to put a finger on.
She'd also be a good shield. She's not going to win immunities down the stretch, but that's how she gets to the end. So you don't want to let her get too far. I don't know. She's going to be a target on this tribe with these people, I feel. But maybe not. I don't know. I'm so confused.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Really hard.
Yeah.
They did a good job of mixing these tribes up because I'm really kind of struggling to see who she'd work with, but also who would be so against her. I don't know. Maybe we can talk about like dynamics at the end.
That was my plan. Yep.
But as far as Sandra, I'm again, I've been saying this about everybody. I don't think she's as dead in the water as maybe people think she might be.
Okay. I'm gonna lean the other way and say I think she's like
number one.
Top of mind, definitely.
Okay.
And I think she's lucky Parvati wasn't on the same tribe as her, because I think Parvati would like lay her whole game on the line to get Sandra out first. Like,
yeah.
In the interviews, Parvati talked a lot about wanting to get Sandra out just to because of Heroes Villains, you know. Basically, there was a little bit of bitterness there.
Yeah, it's funny
which I liked. It was honest and it was funny, and Parvati's. We'll talk about Parvati next time, but
yeah.
I'm really curious to see how she does.
You know who was surprisingly anti Sandra? Amber.
Oh wow, Well, Boston Rob spent a lot of time with her on an island,
Well,
so
yeah, but that was nothing.
She's jealous.
That's what I'm so confused about, because she and Rob seem to be tight. Mm-hmm. But for his wife to be like, I can't read her, I don't know her, I've only met her one time. It's like, what? Are you sure you've only met her one time? This is really weird, and I'm confused by that answer. Maybe she's lying. Maybe she's trying to throw people off. But I found myself very confused by that.
I admit it's possible that she could be playing a Danny Boatwright-esque game where she's messing with production so that production doesn't mess up her strategy, which is probably a smart thing to do, honestly. But I also think it's possible that, Boston Rob and Sandra aren't really that tight outside of the game. It's just they only cross paths in the Survivor world. And when they do cross paths, it's just Boston Rob and Sandra hanging out at these events or whatever. They probably aren't that good of friends. And
I've seen them maybe it was before, I don't know, but I feel like I remember seeing them at events with Courtney and Todd and stuff, and just they seem close, good friends. I don't know. It's weird to me that Amber's I don't know you, you're hard to read. I find that so strange. That's what I feel like. Amber is just a weird one for me to. I don't know who she is. She's an enigma.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough to say. But yeah, so, I'm gonna say Sandra is gonna be targeted relatively early. They don't want a 3-time winner. Just get it over with. It's a vote that you can get people to agree on. Yeah. There's gonna be a couple people that might push back on that. And that's something that Sandra can hopefully bank on, is that, a lot of these people are going to be like, we don't want a 3-time winner. Let's take care of business. Mm-hmm. And they'll be like, I don't know. Maybe I can go to Sandra and, maybe this is my chance to get Sandra as an ally and use her as a piece. But if they know Sandra, they should know they can't use, you can't use Sandra as a piece. She's going to turn it on at the end and destroy you.
Yeah, so, she'll turn on literally anyone.
Which they know this, and so if they're smart, they never give her a chance. But
yeah, you're probably right. And they are smart. They're winners.
Yeah, so she should be I'm looking at Kim, Sandra, and Tony should be
bam,
maybe even leave Tony alone. I'd be looking at Tyson. I'd be like, yo, Kim, Sandra, Tyson, those 3. Bam, bam, bam. Get them out of here. They're dangerous as hell. So
dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Just saying. That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a fair analysis of one Sandra Diaz Twine and her chances.
To say about her?
No, she'll still be the queen.
All right. Well, we can segue nicely into Tyson then. Tyson Apostle is back for his 4th time?
4th.
Wow, that's
4th.
Crazy. That's crazy, man.
Not enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, Tyson grows on me a little bit more every time I see him. I was somebody who just was kind of irritated in Blood versus Water by his pure cockiness. Little turned off by that attitude, but I always thought he was funny. The more and more I hear from him, I think he's hilarious. And I really, really enjoyed his interview, his pregame interview.
His was the best one.
Oh, for sure. So he's just a fun character. He tells it like it is. He puts a humorous spin on it, and he knows the game. He's strategic. He wants to try new things. He wants to do deceptive things like you talked about. He will be one of those people who will likely bring us something innovative and deceptive. And
he's already talked about it in the interview.
Right. And so in that sense, I'm really excited to have him back and excited to see what he can do. What are your thoughts on Tyson?
He's such a good combination for a Survivor player, because he's got this deadpan delivery that makes you laugh, makes you think he doesn't care that much, when he cares deeply. about the game. He's extremely competitive, and that's when you see the cockiness, like when the rock draw happened and he was an ass to Catie or whoever it was that got rocked out of the game. And so that can be very tempting to be drawn in by that. And a lot of people, especially in Blood versus Water, did get drawn in by that. And then he was able to turn around and be like, yeah, that was your own dumb fault. Like to Aris and the non-returning players in Blood versus Water, he kind of used them for a little bit, but then he was like, yeah, I'm done with you guys. But it's so hard not to just take him at face value as this goofball, because he is, but he's extremely intelligent about the game. And I've listened to several of his like podcasts with Rob. He always comes on like later in the season and talks about, and he thinks about things that I would never think about. I can't think of any examples offhand, but he always talks about it as if I were out there, this is what I would do. Like he's always thinking about that. And so he is extremely dangerous. And I'm worried that these people know that and he could be gone early. But again, to bring up Edge of Extinction, he's the perfect type of person to win one of those challenges to get back in the game. But I know we don't want that person to win, but maybe if it's Tyson, we do. I don't know.
Well, I think I've heard this mentioned by other people in the podcasting world, that if whoever comes back from Edge of Extinction actually comes back after lasting in the game for most of the game, like let's say, when do they usually come back? At 6 or something like that?
They come back at the merge and then they come back at Final 6.
Well, let's
is way too late.
Let's just look at the Final 6 then. Let's say they went out at 8. They went to Edge of Extinction at 8 and then they got back in at 6. Then I totally think that person, I'm much more receptive to that person winning the game. It seems relatively fair. It's more like what happened with Chris Underwood, where he went out like 3rd or 4th person voted out, and he wasn't even in the game for so long and then comes back and wins. A situation like that doesn't seem fair to me. But, if somebody gets back in the game after just being out for a couple votes, I don't have as much of a problem with that. So
you don't have that hard line of they were voted out, so they don't deserve to win.
I do, like, if I have to pick one or the other, I prefer no Edge of Extinction at all. But if you're gonna have it, actually truly how it should be, if you have to have it, you only have it once before the merge and that's it. You're done with it.
Yeah.
And I've heard someone else
that they don't
say
figure that out.
That's not my idea. But I agree with that.
That.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I agree with you then.
Well, other people have said it too, but it's like a no-brainer to me. Like that's when you cut it off.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, if you absolutely have to have it, make it as fair as possible, even though it's by virtue, it's not fair. But yeah, good point. Tyson is totally a real strong candidate to be coming back to the game off of that, which even adds further to his danger level because, I agree with you. These guys are probably looking at him like this guy is dangerous. But if they fall under his spell, it's over, man. Because
I think he's got like a Kim level of
control. Yeah, control too. He's
like drawing people in.
He knows how to manipulate. He's not afraid to manipulate. He won't get caught for it, and he won't get in trouble for it. He's too charismatic to get in trouble for it, for people to be mad about it. And he won't even get caught. I don't think so, at least. And he's uber dangerous. I think he's got winner upside for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. If he skates past those first few votes, if he can get out of this tribe configuration, because this won't last very long, he'll probably be okay for a while. But I don't know. He could get Arist at the merge.
Yeah, he's just got too much going for him. Major winner upside, in my opinion.
Major.
Anything else about Tyson?
I love Tyson.
Tyson's the man.
Yep.
I kind of want to get another cup of tea, could you start talking about Sarah Lacina for us?
Sarah?
Sarah.
I can talk about Sarah Lacina.
Yeah, I just need
by myself.
I just need 1 minute. I'm thirsty.
1 minute to riff on Sarah Lacina, or I could continue talking about Tyson.
Yeah,
whatever.
Take your pick. I'll be right back.
I think I have more to say about Tyson, so I might just keep going on. Tyson.
Oh yeah.
So go on, get your tea.
All right.
Come on. So Tyson had this strategy in his pregame interview, which again, if you haven't watched it, it's probably the best one. It's the funniest one, at least. He talks about talking about Rob and Sandra's stint on season 39 and how they got so much money, $500,000. I don't know if that's what he said, but spreading the rumor that they got a huge stipend so that people are like jealous of that and mad about that, and that will make people want to get them out even more than they probably already do. And so Tyson's thinking ahead. He's already got these crazy strategies out there in the works, and I think they might just work if he puts them into play. So I'm excited to see. I like his rascally type of play, as long as he's not too much of an asshole. So I'm excited to see.
So do you think
Tyson back in action?
Do you think he'll actually do that thing?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
See, that was pretty quick.
Especially if he's in trouble.
I even knew what you were talking about and was able to comment on it when I got back.
Very good. That was a quick tea run. Good for you.
Got some Earl Grey, baby.
Hey, Earl Grey.
I don't normally
what do you say?
Drink that stuff, but
good for you.
I'm giving it a try.
Get your British on.
Get my British on. My British on. Okay. Sorry. All right.
Now we can get to Sarah.
Sarah.
Well, I guess we're saying everybody's name in Tony's voice, which is appropriate. Mm-hmm. Since this is Tony's tribe.
Tyson, listen. Tyson.
Yeah, it'll be fun to hear how he says other people's names.
Apostle. No one calls him by his last name. Hey, Apostle.
No, it's Tyson.
Yeah. Wendell.
It's just Tyson.
Wendell. Sarah.
Okay.
Listen up. Okay, Sarah Lacina. Or Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah Lacina?
Sarah's actually how you say that.
Yeah, Sarah Lacina. Yeah, what are your thoughts on Sarah?
She is one of two people I'm not super stoked on this season. She did her thing in Game Changers. I respect that. I don't think it can be repeated. And I don't think anybody out there likes her particularly well. Yes. That's my mug that I gave you
Dharma,
for Christmas.
Dharma Initiative. So nerdy. Let me see if I can guess the other person you're not excited about.
You know who it is.
Is it Ben Driebergen?
It's Ben. Although I'm warming on Ben, but I'm cooling on Sarah. They might have reversed places.
Yeah,
in my rank.
I'm warming on Ben too. We'll get to that on the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, did I interrupt your Sarah Lacina thoughts? Go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you think. I definitely have thoughts, but I want to hear what you think. You seem to be really into that tea, but it's good to have thoughts as well.
Yeah. Thoughts. I feel bad for how I feel about Sarah Lacina.
Don't feel bad. Just say what's in your heart. Put it out there.
I mean, I'm just like not a huge fan of hers. She played an excellent game in Game Changers. She's kind of like Tommy, like in the sense that they both played like excellent games, but by all accounts, I should love these people because there's like things in common, like Sarah Lacina's kind of like a Midwesterner, isn't she? Or what is
Iowa,
she?
yeah.
Yeah, she's
from
like
Iowa.
She's like a Midwesterner. She almost has like the North Dakota accent, which is weird. Yeah. She seems really nice, sweet, smart, strategic, athletic, driven. Lots of good things to say about her.
She's a cat.
She's a cat. But like for some reason I'm just not a fan, and like I just like can't do it.
No, I don't. You know what's weird? She comes off so bad in her interviews.
And that's why I feel bad. I don't know why. I don't know what it is.
You're not the only... Well, I can tell you what it is. She's extremely... I feel like she's overcompensating. Like, maybe she's trying to justify to herself that she belongs there amongst this group of people because, Game Changers isn't a very well-liked season. She is considered a pretty good winner, but that season's just like at the bottom of the list for a lot of people. And I feel like she's overselling her confidence, or she's trying to fake it till she makes it, maybe, because she's talking like she basically said she played the best game ever because she beat Sandra. And I was like, okay, but most of the people in that season beat Sandra that season. So does that make them the best ever? Just because, you know what I'm saying? She just came off inauthentic, and if she was being authentic, she was grossly cocky and weird, and she's just got that voice, and it's hard to like her when she's surrounded by this group of people.
Yeah, she's got a lot of competition here for people to root for, and I just don't see it happening here. But
yeah,
I mean, with Game Changers, she was kind of in the same boat. She was somebody I was like, meh, I don't think I'll be rooting for her. But you kind of, you had to, because she was the best on the board. And so
she was making interesting, like, cutthroat moves.
Yeah.
But,
which was great.
It was very impressive.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people they felt very wounded by Sarah in Game Changers. That seemed to be an extremely, sensitive jury, which is weird because they're returning players. They should have thicker skin, you would think. But, so I don't know what she did to them. What did she do to them to make them so mad at her? I don't know. They're just, I don't see it. I don't see her game going well with these people.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see Sarah's interview. Did you?
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad. Did she talk at all about what kind of game she intends to play? Specifically, the game she plans to play compares to the game she played in Game Changers?
Well, in Cagayan, she played like a cop. In Game Changers, she played like a criminal.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure she said in this one she's going to play like a terrorist.
What?
I think she might have said that.
Wow. But what does she mean by that?
So that's also alarming.
She means she's going to drop Ben bombs on everybody or what?
She's going to have a sleeper cell? I don't know what that means. I forget the exact quote from the Dalton Ross interview, or just her bio, I think. But she had one thing that made me laugh a lot. She had this in her bio. Everyone's they say hometown, all this stuff, and then they put pet peeves. Most people put 3. She had a list this long of pet peeves. It was pretty funny.
Nice.
But okay. I don't think that improves her chances at all. I don't think she's going to do well.
Okay. Yeah, because I was curious because, what she did in Game Changers was the perfect plan for a game strategy to win, to be sort of, to play more like Tony, essentially, was definitely the right way for her to play in that season, to kind of flip back and forth and just not give a shit about any one individual and only give a shit about winning and then own her game at the end. Mad props. That was exactly what she needed to do. And I was just curious if in this game, if she intends to do things the same again, because I don't think she can get away with that again. I think people are looking out for that now, and she would have to change her game and lean more on that style of, because I heard that a lot of people actually thought she was their best friend. So I think that aspect of her game from Game Changers, she should hang on to it and continue to lean into that, because I think that could be a winning strategy for her.
Yeah, but I think there's people here that are better at that than her.
Right. She could end up being just somebody that has a tough time getting along with everyone and gets cut. She gets cut.
Yeah. I was talking earlier, you and I were talking about how Dalton Ross on his Instagram, he puts every day he's been showing the person he interviewed that day or released that day and who they cast their first vote for. Sarah has received the most votes. She's got 3 or 4.
Oh my God.
She's on people's radars.
Have they shown who she voted for yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
So Kim and Parvati and somebody else picked Sarah. I think.
Okay. Interesting.
Which is fine. Good of a first boot as any, I say. Better than most.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah, I'd be fine with it. It's okay.
Alrighty. Any final thoughts on Sarah?
No.
Okay. Moving on to Wendell. What's his last name?
Holland.
Wendell Holland.
Yeah. Wendell. I don't know. I feel really good about Wendell. What about you?
Yeah, he's fine.
High praise indeed.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Wendell, but I think I feel like he's new school, or he's part of the newest crop of winners. But I feel like he has connections to some of the older players. Maybe that's not true. Maybe I'm just making that up. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe I can't explain it, but I said in this podcast I was just going to follow my heart. And I feel like Wendell's got a very good shot. Except that he doesn't have kids, so maybe they won't vote for him at the end.
Yeah, I agree with you insofar as he will be successful in this game. I don't think he's gonna go first or anything. I don't think he's gonna go second or third.
He makes the merge?
I think he'll make the merge, and I think he could make a deep run at it. I probably am not gonna go with him as a winner pick, but yeah, he's going far.
Yeah,
he's going far, definitely.
I agree.
He's got too much going for him, and he's gonna be under the radar. He's gonna be able to lay. That's the same strategy he played in Ghost Island. He basically can emulate exactly what he did in Ghost Island and do just fine.
He said in his interview, or one of his interviews, that Dominic, who almost beat him but didn't, to be the same but like just a little less, like don't build stuff for people, just don't be so over the top nice. I guess was the advice that he got.
Because that will put a target on his back. Because people will be like, yeah, Wendell's playing up the nice guy thing way too much. That guy's way too nice. He's kissing the jury's ass. Let's get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good advice.
So he said he's not going to do that as much. He said he wants to make a few more moves, be a little more cutthroat, because during Ghost Island, which is why it was such a pretty boring season, they had a hit list and they went just down the list. They didn't have like any obstacles to that, which is ridiculous, but I guess that's just how strong of a pair that those two were.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he'll have a dom. I don't know that he needs one.
Well, I think
you don't want to.
That's a really interesting question right there. Is does he need a dom? Because he did have a dom. That's that's a weird season where, like, honestly, you could say like there were two winners this season. Dominic and Wendell both won. Like, basically. I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. That's fine. They both basically played exactly the same game. They both deserved to win.
They were together the whole time.
They just had slightly different personalities, slightly different styles, and one seemed to lend itself a little better to, people, the jury liking you, and not to take. Wendell had a lot of agency in the sense of the stuff he did with Laurel, his little relationship seeds that he planted intentionally that led to him getting the most votes. But yeah, who does he need a dom to win again? Not
I don't
necessarily.
think you want a dom. You think you'd be burned by that? Like, damn, I almost lost because I had to go to the end. We were so intertwined. We were forced to go to the end together. And we almost split the vote. We did split the vote.
Yeah, I was basically stuck with a guy who was just as good as me. And I could have very easily lost.
Yeah, I feel like you'd want to team up with someone more different than you. You know what I mean? Like maybe like a Tony or something, but I don't know. Or maybe like a Michelle or an Amber or somebody like that. Someone kind of unexpected, but someone, I don't know. I just don't know.
Sandra.
That'd be a,
Wendell
we'll talk about dream pairings
Sandra.
here.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting pair.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think anything else you want to add about Wendell? That's pretty good.
Wendell's super charming, and we've said that about everybody. I feel like I've said that word 20 times tonight, but
yep.
These people all won, and they won for reasons. But I think Wendell's going to be fine. Again, I don't know about a win, because there seems to be other outside world factors, and maybe that's just something that people have put into the ether. I don't know if that's even true. But I think he can get pretty far.
Agreed. Moving on. Next on the list is Sophie Clark.
Yeah.
Winner of Survivor Season 23. South Pacific Redemption Island 2.
Part 2. She defeated Coach.
Yes. What are your thoughts on Sophie, Catie?
I don't really know what to... She knows the game super well. She's up there with Nick and Adam, like you said. She's a know-it-all.
Mm-hmm.
And not in a bad way, like on the podcast. She's a know-it-all. She fills in.
Right.
But, so I'm not worried about strategy whatsoever. She knows the strategy. Right. I'm more worried for her socially.
Right. Because of all the people on this season, she seems like the most type B of any of them. And like with Survivor, like 99% of the people that even get cast on the show are type A personalities. Mm-hmm. And Sophie leans in the direction of a type B personality, which is weird. They hardly ever cast people like that. And on this season, you have a couple that are like that, but you know, there's a lot of type A's. So you do worry about how she's going to fit in socially to that, because not only is she matched up with different personality types, but like type A's are the aggressive type. So she's going to be less aggressive, possibly.
She can be aggressive. Remember when she told Albert to drop his stack?
Drop his stack?
Do you remember?
No.
Look it up. Drop your stack, Albert.
Huh. Okay.
She's either going to go one of two ways. She's going to be able to sink under the radar, just kind of float along intentionally, not because she doesn't know what she's doing, but because she knows that's probably the way with this crowd, this is the way she has to go. Or she's going to rub people the wrong way, and they'll perceive her as, I don't know, standoffish or not as gregarious as the others. But I don't really remember. I'm sure she can be. She can fit in with people that aren't like her. I think she has that capacity. But I'm just wondering how she's going to mix with this group of people. It's going to be interesting to see. It's been so long since I've watched her play. I don't really remember what her strengths are socially. But that's where I worry about her, is she really should just find a partner. Maybe Wendell. Maybe that's his dom. Wendell and Sophie. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think she might need to team up with somebody more aggressive, though.
Such as?
Maybe like Tony.
That would be interesting.
But then again, Tony is probably trying to not play aggressive this time, so.
Sophie might tone him down.
Maybe. And maybe Sophie and Sandra need to get together.
That I wouldn't mind seeing.
Pretty much anybody with Sandra.
I know. I say that. You're like so-and-so with Sandra. Oh, yeah.
Amber and Sandra?
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because she has a weird hate-in for Sandra for some reason.
Well, it could be a lie.
It could be a lie.
Yeah.
That's giving Amber some credit, but it could be.
Yeah, okay. My thoughts on Sophie, very, very smart person.
Yeah.
Super intelligent. I totally agree with everything you say. Socially, it could be a challenge for her. She admitted as much in her interview. I don't know if you remember what I was messaging to you, because I know we were like messaging while I was watching Sophie's interview, and I had some things to say. I don't remember exactly what I was saying. Do you remember what I said?
Don't remember what you said. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I don't either. I should remember what I said. But I know it's something along the lines of she doesn't seem well connected, and actually I think my words were she looks like something about like a piece of prey or a she looks like an injured deer or something like that.
No.
Like I got this vibe from her interview like she's just too sweet, too type B, and just a little there's enough of a lack of confidence there. Not that she's not a confident person, but she's just a little bit.
Well, it'd be hard to feel confident surrounded by people like this.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
In this group of people, she feels like she could be like low-hanging fruit or an easy target or something, especially considering I don't think she has a lot of tight connections to these people outside of the game.
No.
These particular ones, I know she's friends with other survivors and shit, but not these ones. Yeah.
No.
So I worry about her very early on. If she can get in there and get into an alliance that has some type of numbers, a group of 3 that seems to hang on or something like that, she'll probably go really deep and possibly win. But she has a lot of, I don't know if you call it downside or if you just say she has a lot of upside to go early, I guess. I don't know what you call that. She's got some downside.
Yeah, she'll have to just quietly work her way into the numbers somehow, or a trust cluster that will succeed for a couple rounds, and then she won't have to worry about it, because if she makes it to a certain point, I think she'll be okay. The beginning of the game is so dangerous for a lot of these people. Absolutely. For everybody.
Yeah, I mean, the whole game is dangerous because
you're right.
Eventually, you do get voted out at some point.
Thing to say, yeah. Okay,
it's fine.
It's fine.
Any other thoughts on Sophie?
She just needs to find a group, and that is it.
Just like you said, we're not worried about her strategic intelligence.
No. It might actually intimidate people if she talks about it too much, or if she lets it fly off freely, but I don't think she will because she's smart. Yeah,
clearly she's a smart player. It's just, will she be able to gel early enough to get to the later sections of the game?
I'm feeling a Sophie-Sandra connection. I'm feeling it.
That could work out. That could be good for both of them. So
yeah.
Because Sophie I think Sophie's smart enough where she might be able to consult Sandra, but will Sandra be able to put her ego aside to listen to somebody like Sophie for advice,
Yeah, she just got paid to give out advice. She's not going to take advice from anybody.
Especially not from someone like Sophie, who's a type B.
She might.
But yeah, that's Sophie Clark, winner of South Pacific.
That's right.
All right, moving on to our final member of the Red Dekal Tribe. The one, the only, Unicorn.
I clapped for him. He's the only one.
Yeah, I mean, we have made no bones about it. I think Yule is the one we're most stoked to see back. We're excited to have him back here.
I'm surprised to see back.
We are pretty big Cook Islands fans. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah, I mean, I get why people don't like that season. It's kind of a tale of two seasons. The first season is kind of a nightmare. I mean, it's divided racially, and the white people win all the time and start to pick off all the other people, and then they mutiny. The two white people mutiny against the rest of their tribe who's not white, but therein lies the best pivot of the season, and those 4 underdogs, thank God, just take out everybody else. It's a beautiful thing to see.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's important to let people know, not to get it twisted. We don't like the season because it's divided by race.
No, that's terrible.
That's by far the worst part of the season.
In spite of that. And
there's just biggest... if you can get past that horribleness, there is a lot to like about that season, and Yule is a big part of it.
It's the biggest turnaround I feel like a season has ever had, unless if you take into account the most recent season, in the opposite direction because things were going well. And then the merge hit and it became the worst season ever. So it's like that in reverse.
Yeah.
Like horrible first half, amazing back half.
Yeah, they definitely did a great job of setting up these underdogs that are going to ultimately succeed in overthrowing the overdogs. So, so yeah, great season, and Yule is the winner of that season. We're really happy to have him back. What are some of the reasons? Why do you like Yule so much?
I love Yule so much because he seems like a very nice man, and he always seemed so like soft-spoken, nice, but also like so wildly intelligent. It's hard to understand what he's talking about. But I think the reason I love him so much was because he was part of that story, and he was the leader of that underdog, like the biggest underdog group I feel like we ever had that actually came back and overcame their obstacles. So that's a big part of the story and why I love him, but just also his personality, which was soft-spoken, a little robotic, very nerdy. But, you know, socially, I think he was pretty good as well. I mean, he was able to get Penner to flip on his people. And he gets a lot of shit, unfairly, I think, for having that idol that had all, like, the super idol, the Tyler Perry idol, the God idol, whatever they call it, that you could play after the votes were read. And a lot of people like to use that as a way to like invalidate his win or say it's not that strong of a win. But I disagree because that was, you know, rules of the idol at the time he had them. It was only like, the third season they used the idol? It had different rules then. And he used those rules to the extreme benefit of himself and his group of people. And he kept that group of people intact until the very end when they were like, you know, ready to be destroyed. I don't know. I just think, what else was he supposed to do? That's the idol he had. Is he supposed to go up to them and be like, you know, this isn't fair because I can play this before or after the votes? I don't know. I think that's not fair.
You could say the same about Chris Underwood, though. You could be like, well, Chris Underwood just played within the rules. Like, was he supposed to go up to production and be like, hey, this isn't fair. I forfeit.
Fine. That's true.
So
Tony did the same thing though, and people don't give Tony shit.
Right. No, I agree. Tony. Before I thought of Chris Underwood, I thought of Tony, but Chris Underwood's a like even more even more interesting way of looking at that. But yeah, I mean, you make a good point. They're just playing within the context of what the rules that are handed to them by production. They that's all they can do. They can't do anything else about it. So what was I going to say? I forgot.
Talk about Yule. Why do you like Yule?
Oh, yeah, we're talking about Yule. That's right.
Yeah, how did you forget?
I don't know. Got off on a tangent about power idols and stuff. Yeah, I like Yule too. Same reasons you said. He's nice, smart. He was one of the first ones to sort of see the opportunities that were presenting themselves and sort of really manipulate people, you know, like obviously manipulation was going on in Survivor from the beginning, you know, but he did it really well. Master manipulator, but also was able to leave people at the end of it feeling like, you are such a nice guy. He deserves to win. He deserves to beat Ozzy, you know. Yeah, that's another feather in his cap. He beat Ozzy, who played a pretty outstanding game, played a flashy game, you know, which is tough. That's a tough game to beat. So, but he's able to articulate the type of game he played. And like you said, he's soft spoken, so he can kind of lay low a little bit. And hopefully that's
not a type. I'm sorry. I was just going to say he's not a type of winner you ever see, really.
You don't typically see guys like him win. And I think he's a lot like John Cochran, and that's probably why one of the reasons they sort of have a friendship outside of the game. He's not friends with many survivors, but him and Cochran are friends.
He's friends with Jonathan Penner.
Well, that makes sense.
Did you read that interview?
No, I don't read.
So you don't read.
Other than Machiavelli the Prince today, I was reading.
Right. So, well, in the interview he did with Dalton Ross, he was talking about Jonathan Penner. Apparently, they're still very good friends. And Jonathan Penner's wife has pretty bad ALS. And so he was saying how he wanted to donate the money to that.
That's what Yule wants to do?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, what a dude.
Because Yule's already got money. He doesn't need it. So
yeah. Well,
that's what he wants to do with it.
That's $2 million.
Well,
I do think that might come into play in the game, is like all these different people talking about what they would do with the $2 million. I think that might have an impact on who people start to root for and keep around and stuff like that. So I think everybody's going to have everyone's going to have a story of what some sort of charity they're going to give the money to and all that stuff.
I don't think anyone else is talking about giving it away, but
I'm sure Ethan will talk about that. I'm sure Adam will talk about that.
Yeah.
And I think many others as well. But yeah, Yule definitely said that. So, yeah, I what are Yule's chances, Catie? What are Yule's chances?
Honestly? I was worried about him going in, but listening to these interviews, nobody's talking about Yule. Nobody's casting him as their first vote out. I think he might be all right for a while. I don't know. I'm curious to see him play, because another thing he said in his interviews was that because of the racially divided season, he felt a responsibility to represent the Asian American community in a positive light. And so he felt a little bit restricted in what he could and could not do in the game. And he said he's excited to let that go and just kind of play freely. So I'm excited to see maybe a little cutthroat Yule, as long as he's not I don't think he's capable of being a dick about it. So I think it's fine. But you know what I mean? I'm interested to see that.
It is interesting to hear him say that's how he wants to play this time. And I say more power to him, because if that's the truth, like last time he was, held back from not being able to play exactly the way he wanted to play, he should, have that experience and let her buck and have some fun. Because, I mean, the other way worked out for him once. It won't necessarily work for him again. I do think his best bet in this situation where he sits in the field is he probably should play a little more laid back and low key. But I think I'm excited to just watch him play and have some fun and get to see a different side of Yule. So we'll see. We'll see if it ends up being a good decision for a winning game. But either way, it should be entertaining.
Yeah. I hope he plays up the loyalty, like, hey, you can trust me, and stick to it for a while. But at some point in the winter season, you have to let that shit go.
Yeah, let her buck.
Let her buck, Yule.
Yeah, let her buck, Yule. Full tilt.
Yeah, full tilt. That's how he's playing. Colby Donaldson style.
Was he the one that actually was quoted as saying that? One of the players actually quoted saying they wanted to play full tilt this time. That might have been Yule.
It was either Yule or Ethan. I don't remember which one it was.
It might have been Ethan. You're right.
I don't remember. One of those nicer, older guys.
Okay, let's do a couple quick little exercises in small prediction.
Dream pairing. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. We'll do a little bit of predicting, a little bit of alliance talking about relationships, alliances, and that'll be pretty much it. So who do you see as the biggest target, like in the most danger on the tribe? Like, who, if you had to pick a first boot out of this tribe, who would it be?
I mean, I hate to go back to season 34, because who wants to see that? But you have 3 members of season 34 on this tribe alone. I feel like it's going to be one of those 3. Sarah, I feel like Sarah's in danger, which is surprising, but I feel like she is.
Yep.
Sandra and Tony. Maybe people just hate game changers. They want them out.
That's possible. I'm going to go with a weird one and say Nick Wilson.
I think there's a chance of that, too.
They're going to be like, the new guy. He just won. Get out of here.
Ethan cast Nick Wilson as the vote, his first person out.
Yeah, and I can see why, and I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with Nick Wilson is in danger in the first.
Do you want me to pick one person? I'll pick Sarah. I'm gonna go Sarah.
Cool. Yeah. So any, give me like a dream alliance.
Of how many people?
Let's say a dream alliance of. Well, let's say you need 6 right away to.
6?
Yeah. Which 4?
That's not gonna go very far.
Okay, 3 then. What's a power trio?
Oh boy. Tyson, Yule, and Kim.
Ooh, I like that. That's really good. I like Tony a lot too, so I'm just gonna be chauvinist here and say Tyson, Tony, and Yule.
Tyson, Tony, Yule. Well, obviously Tyson and Yule are some of our favorites here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope they work together. Is all.
Yeah. If there was an all women's alliance of 3, that was the power core. Who would you want it to be?
Kim, Sandra, Sophie.
Yeah, pretty much agree with you there. Although I would swap Sandra for Amber.
Kim, Amber, Sophie. That's a good one.
Yeah, just for like a little bit more of like a sneak attack alliance.
Sneaky. Kim would be more down with that probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. How about a 2-guy, 2-girl alliance?
2 guys, 2 girls. Oh boy.
You can still stick with the ones you like from before.
Well, I want to mix it up. Let's see.
Okay.
I feel like Wendell's got a good shot, so I got to pick Wendell with somebody.
Okay.
How about Wendell, Tony, Kim, and Sophie?
I like that. I like that.
That's kind of crazy. Maybe that'll happen.
I'll go Yule, Tony, Kim, and Sophie.
Yeah.
That'd be a dope ass alliance.
Kim and Sophie are probably my favorite girls on this tribe.
Yeah.
I think my favorite, the other tribe has more of my favorite females on it. But, yeah, Tyson and Yule are 2 of my all-time favorites, and they're on the same tribe. There's a shot of them at a challenge together, and it should be framed.
Oh, they already have a shot of that?
Well, it's like a video.
Oh, yeah.
From the preview, and they're in the water. Yeah.
Maybe I can get my hands on that for a thumbnail or something.
Do your best because it's a work of art.
You'll have to tell me which video it's in.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So one more exercise I want to do here. I want a winner pick from this tribe, 1 female winner pick, 1 male winner pick. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this for both tribes. So eventually we're going to have 4 winner picks, 2 guys, 2 girls.
Okay.
And then at the very end, when all is said and done, we're each going to make winner. Our 1 winner pick, boy or girl. And that's going to be like that's canon. I don't know if that works in this context. You know what I mean.
Canon for this season of the podcast. Yeah.
Yes. So that we will have the 1. But we'll also have the 2 from each tribe that we picked for shits and giggles. So
yes.
So I need from you your 1 girl and your 1 guy winner pick from this tribe.
Okay, girl, I'm gonna go with Kim Spradlin.
Ooh, okay.
Boy, I'm gonna go with Wendell. Man and woman. We should be calling them girls.
Girls and boys. I like it. Kind of fits in with the TV is our real mom vibe.
True. Yeah.
It's kind of like Kitty.
So boy is Wendell.
Okay. Man, that's tough.
So you can pick the same person if you want?
I could. I really like Kim as a winner pick, but especially on this tribe. If I could, there's probably 2 women on the other tribe I would pick instead of someone off this tribe. But if I have to pick off this tribe, I would go with Sophie and Tyson.
Those are good picks.
Sophie and Tyson.
Yeah. Solid picks.
Yep.
Hey, we got a 40% chance. Or no, we don't, because there's 10 more people. 20.
Yeah. If we pick 4 out of 20, yeah, you're right. We got a 20% chance of getting one of those.
So then it would stand to reason that our final winner pick should come from the 4 people that we choose.
I'm thinking most likely it has to be, right?
Yeah. But otherwise that's nonsense.
But I want to leave it open. I want to leave that possibility open where maybe on the next podcast we make our winner picks from that tribe, and then all of a sudden we've thought about it and we're like, oh, you know what? I changed my mind. Yule's my winner pick,
Yeah. So. Yeah. I feel bad not picking Yule, but I think he's going to be a target at some point.
Yeah, for sure. But for now, Sophie, Tyson, and you picked Kim and Wendell. Okay. Yeah. Cool beans. I think we've pretty much covered it here, Catie. Is there anything else you want to add?
Oh, geez, we've talked for a long time. We should probably shut up.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably been like almost 2 hours.
It's been a while.
Craziness. Okay. Well, I guess that will do it for this episode of the podcast. Thank you guys for listening. We will try to get the other tribe up as soon as possible. I know you guys are dying to hear our thoughts on that.
Our very well-educated and thought-out opinions on this cast.
Yes. And so, yeah, we'll get to that as soon as we can. And so be on the lookout for that. And, while we're here this season, feel free to subscribe to the channel and give us those little dopamine hits with your little thumbs ups if you like this. Because we do appreciate that. Every little one is nice. It's nice to see. Mm-hmm. And even the thumbs downs, I get a little dopamine hit from that too. So
don't encourage that.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
Just follow your heart. Listen to your heart.
Yeah. Okay, that will be it for this podcast. Thanks you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.